4th Brigade soldiers marched in Liberty County Martin Luther King Parade.
Learn how you can get your taxes done for free this year.
3rd CAP conducts hoist and CBRN training.
Welcome to this week's Marne Report. I'm Caitlin Kenny.
And I'm Sergeant Dean Gannon with 1st Brigade Public Affairs. Secretary of the Army, John McHugh, spent time with soldiers at Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, January 14th. Some of the highlights of his time there included meeting with soldiers, holding a town hall, and discussing the transition to resolute support of the United States Forces Afghanistan headquarters. Sergeant First Class David Wheeler has more.
During a visit to Afghanistan, the Secretary of the Army had an opportunity to talk to troops and meet with leaders about the recent transition to resolute support.
The reason I come has always been to see soldiers, and it's always an uplifting experience. It's amazing to see what the men and women in uniform of the United States, all ranks, doing all kinds of jobs and efforts achieve.
This is his first trip to Afghanistan since the transition, so McHugh took this opportunity to get multiple updates on the mission.
The Afghan security forces have taken the lead since June, are going out and taking on the enemy, and have shown their ability to overmatch the enemy in just about every situation. That came about because of the great training, the great preparation that American military has provided to them, and now it's their time.
The mission might have transitioned, but his pride of soldiers will never change.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell all the men and women here at Bagram and throughout the AOR in Afghanistan of how proud not just I am of them, but all of our senior military leaders, the President, the Secretary of Defense, the folks that asked them to come out and do this mission. They have done it in incredible ways. They have done it at a level that, frankly, none of us really imagined.
Reporting from Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, Sergeant First Class David Wheeler, U.S. Forces Afghanistan Public Affairs.
1-3 Brigade Special Troops Battalion, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, deactivated at Marne Gardens and then unflagged over 100 years of history and heritage. I attended the event.
Military dignitaries and leaders within the coastal community traveled long distances to witness 1-3 Brigade Special Troops Battalion deactivate and the 10th Engineer Battalion uncase its colors. The event reactivates 10th Engineer Battalion within the 3rd Infantry Division for the first time in nearly 11 years. 10th Engineer Battalion's storied history dates back to 1861, as the battalion has participated in over 30 campaigns. 1st Armor Brigade Combat Team Commander Colonel Robert P. Ash says 10th Engineer Battalion further enables 3rd Infantry Division to be a global asset.
With the transition of the 10th Engineers, we're better equipped to deploy anywhere in the world and have the mobility required to assure us that our operational reach is not easily constrained. It's not lost on me that our assigned mission is in the European theater, at a time when the most recent active threat to our allies there is not an insurgent force, but rather a potential adversary well-versed in large-scale maneuver warfare. 10th Engineer Battalion greatly enhances our capacity to support a strong Europe and demonstrates our resolve in supporting our allies.
Commander of 10th Engineer Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Van Epps, quoted Pulitzer Prize-winning American journalist Ernie Pyle when sizing up the current caliber of 10th Engineer Battalion's soldiers.
I've never seen men work any harder than the engineers I was with. On the Point Calava road crater, there were 2 men I couldn't take my eyes off. They worked like demons. Such men must be impelled by the natures they're born with, by pride in their job, by that mystic spark which forces some men to give all they've got, all the time. To those of you in the audience today, rest assured, we have soldiers cut from that same cloth in the formation you see before you.
Reporting from Marne Garden, I'm Army Sergeant Dean Gannon.
The 3rd Combat Aviation Brigade made a list of the top 10 items that each leader and soldier should know. That list developed into a large training event involving the entire brigade.
Photojournalist Zach Renstrom joined members of 2-3 Aviation and 603rd Aviation Support Battalion to bring us an up-close and personal look at the CBRN and hoist training elements through the lens of his GoPro.
Today on this lane we are training the trainers. Specifically on this lane, they get to be trained on PMCSing vehicles, preparing convoy brief, and reacting to CBRN. While they're out on the lane, they have a maintenance issue. While they are tactically fixing that maintenance issue, they come in contact with our OP4, which have CS gas canisters. They are hit with the CS gas while they're dismounted, and they have to react to the CBRN at that point. They already know, because of the brief they receive, that enemy in the area has access to gas. So when they SP on the convoy, they're in MOP level 2, which means they have all of their MOP gear except their mask and gloves. So once that gas is detected, they yell gas, 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 and they put their mask and gloves on. At first, if it's not too strong, you feel it in your nose, kind of feel it in your throat, and then after you get hit with CS itself, your eyes tingle, your eyes water, it's hard to breathe, you start coughing a lot. You can't really talk after a certain point of getting hit with it. So if they're hit on the lane, that's what they're experiencing, and they have to struggle to coordinate to put on their mask and gloves. The purpose of all this training is that we're trying to get back to the basics. Not only are the soldiers completing this training, but right now we're training the leaders so that when they lead their soldiers through CBRN training in the future, they know how to react.
What's particularly good about this training is that, first off, it's junior leaders executing, basic leader skills. So working on the fundamentals, which is the foundation for everything that they have to do. But not just the going through the lane, but the actual running of the lane are also junior leaders. So it's a combination of trainers learning how to conduct training as well as junior leaders going through the training.
We're conducting the platoon leader training lanes for 3rd Combat Aviation Brigade, and essentially we're just going to retrain the young NCOs and the junior leaders for our units to get back into the mindset of stuff that we haven't done in quite a while. What they're doing essentially is they started conducting training, and they've been doing land nav operations from point to point until they finally reach our point and point 4, which is co-located with us in the wood line back there, where they'll be conducting tactical combat casualty care. They'll at that point bring a patient over to my lane, and we will at that point conduct a 9-line medevac request.
All right, it's on! Safety bars in! Don't hold on, let go! Arms out, arms out!
Followed by hoist operations with both the SCEDCO, which will utilize a rescue Randy, and then we'll have live patients go up on the JP, which is the jungle penetrator. It actually gets the soldiers that haven't had their hands on some of this stuff in quite some time since the previous deployment, or have become fresh to the military, as far as some of our junior officers, an opportunity to see what the capabilities of 3rd Cav is actually all about. The capabilities for our medevac operations, yes, granted we're in a H860 mic model, which gives us the capabilities to land into pretty much any type of austere environment or established LZ, but there are times when you can't land, i.e. if they're in the wood line or they have some sort of elevated slope or anything like that. What they do is they lower down a hoist cable. For patients that are litter patients, we have what's called a SCEDCO, and we'll package them up in the SCEDCO, ensure that they're safely packaged away, and hook up the tagline rigging system to it to secure the patient while they're being elevated up into the airframe, and make sure that they get packaged securely into the airframe. And for what we call ambulatory patients or walking wounded, we have the JP, or the jungle penetrator. That simply allows us to drop the flight medic down onto the ground, assess the patients, figure out what's going on with them if they're litter or ambulatory, because sometimes we don't get the right information depending on the situation, and we hoist the patients up with the flight medic, securing them to the JP and get them onto the airframe and move out to the next mission.
Our company is in the process of deploying platoons all over the world. And this training is very good for us because it gives us the opportunity to train our pilots on holding a sustained hover at many different altitudes. We can hoist people up to 300 feet AGL above the ground for our pilots to be able to hold that hover, to practice it not in combat or not in a situation where they're very unfamiliar, but in a very secure and safe environment where they can do that safely, and the instructor pilot can work with that pilot to make sure that they're doing it properly.
I think it's important, especially in an aviation unit. We're very focused on flying helicopters in the air. We got to remember that the Army is always grounded. So it's important for them to kind of get back to the skills that make Army soldiers what they are.
It's all fun and games for these soldiers as they experience a different type of training. Specialist Jardine Matthews reports from Harmony Church on Fort Benning, where soldiers experience a virtual reality.
Working out of 2 small classrooms located in Patton Hall on Harmony Church, a group of soldiers put to the test knowledge gained through the Heavy Weapons Leaders course on Fort Benning.
Heavy Weapons Leaders course is a 2-week course designed for heavy weapons leaders from the rank of Sergeant E5 to Captain. We deal with the Javelin weapon missile systems, the ITAS, and heavy weapons unit tactics.
The leaders go through intensive technical training on the Improved Target Acquisition System, or ITAS, in the Javelin during the first week. During the second week, they move into tactics, and everything they learned, they start using tactically.
This class was a very great class. As an 88 Mike, in the way the battlefield is changing, these weapon systems might get offered to us because we're out there along with the infantry.
Although the training may seem like they're just playing video games, these soldiers are learning skills that will help them out in the field. Sergeant Buford serves as a squad leader and keeps his soldiers protected.
I just went through and pulled up rear security and aiming my weapons and pointing and giving certain fields of fire to use my weapon appropriately. I was also a Mark 19 gunner for my last iteration, and just using the things I was taught during machine gun theory and being able to use the weapon accurately and effectively.
This program of instruction has been around since 2013, following the Anti-Armor Leaders course designed mainly for the ITAS. It served primarily as a transition course for individuals who did not know how to use the equipment. Once the mission ends, the class as well as instructors conduct an after-actions review to discuss the pros and cons. Specialist Jardine Matthews, Fort Benning, Georgia.
The Heavy Weapons Leaders course trains both resident and mobile training teams.
All right, go ahead and take 2 steps forward.
I never thought this would happen to me. I made one dumb mistake. One night, I was out hanging out with friends, having a good time, drinking a couple beers. Then I made a bad decision. A decision that would affect the rest of my career as a military officer and the rest of my life.
I'm cold. There's been an accident.
Or the life of somebody else.
I think it's 1:44. It's dark, and I'm cold.
Yes, like you, I took the Marne Pride pledge. I promised not to drink and drive, yet I did. That decision landed me behind bars and cost me nearly $6,000. Like you, I thought this would never happen to me, but it did, and it could happen to you too.
The safety of the community is important to Team Stewart. From January 12th to the 18th, there were 5 DUIs and third ID.
Don't let alcohol start the year in the back of a police car. Have some Marne pride. Don't drink and drive.
Coming up on the Marne Report, find out how you can get your taxes prepared on post this year.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed. When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep. He's not one of us. Stuck in reverse. When tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. Lights will guide you home, and I will try to fix you.
Oh, hey, no, You was looking pretty good in those PTs this morning. So when we gonna hook up?
I told you before, man. I got a boyfriend. Why don't you just leave me alone?
Come on, you know you want this.
Is this the Sharp hotline? I'd like to file a complaint.
Hey, Sergeant Mac. Long time no see. Hey, Sergeant Mac, are you going to the party tonight?
Yeah, I'm going, but could you please stop touching me like that? I told you before, it makes me real uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I could help you relieve some of that tension in your shoulders. You should be sore from all those push-ups you did this morning.
No, I'm good, son. I'm good.
You know I can help you relieve some of that tension.
I understand, but I'm good, son. I promise you.
Okay. You'll give in one day. I'll see you at the party tonight.
Yeah, I see you. Is this a Sharp hotline? I'd like to file a complaint.
Hey man, let's go to the block.
Man, these chicks ain't biting at nothing tonight.
I know what you mean, man. The party's popping, but these fish ain't been biting, if you know what I mean.
That's why you gotta do what I do, man. I wait till they get a little alcohol in their system. Man, it makes the process a whole lot easier.
Man, I should try that trick.
Hey, dude, you better chill out before you get yourself into a bad situation.
It's all good, man. It works every time. Shorty over there, she's been asking for it all night. Watch.
Go, 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 go. Ah! One more. She's Are you okay?
That's my boy.
Is this the Sharp hotline? I'd like to make a report.
Have you or someone you know been sexually harassed or assaulted? If so, call the confidential Sharp hotline. At Stewart, call 912-271-9958. At Hunter, dial 912-271-9878. Get the help you need. We are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to the Marne Report. Are you looking for some fun things to do with your family? Then let's check in with Martha Jackson, who's here to give us a look at an upcoming event.
Hi, I'm Martha Jackson, and this is your MWR Minute. Visit the Minehart Vineyards and Winery in Statesboro, Georgia, with leisure travel at 4 p.m. on February 7th for a tour and a tasting. Participants must be 21 years old or older to participate, and the cost is $20 per person. Later that evening, join the group for dinner at the winery at your own expense. Registration will continue until February 2nd. For more information, give Leisure Travel a call at 912-767-2841 at Stewart or 912-315-3674 at Hunter. To learn more about additional MWR events, visit us online at www.stewartmwr.com or www.huntermwr.com. FMWR, we are your complete destination for families, fun, and fitness.
January not only starts the new year, but it's also the start of tax season. Tax forms are handed out, and you can begin to get last year's finances in order. With us today is Captain Marissa Zader with the Judge Advocate General Office at Fort Stewart to talk about the tax resources they offer. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
What is the Marne Tax Center?
The Marne Tax Center is a facility both at Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield. It's a 3ID mission to provide quality, cost-free tax preparation for eligible members.
And where is this center located?
We have 2 locations, like I said, one at Fort Stewart and one at Hunter Army Airfield. The tax center is located in building 1211. It's at 638 Horace Emmett Wilson Boulevard. Their phone number is 315-3675. And here at Fort Stewart, our tax center is located at 2233 Golick Avenue in building 816, and the phone number is 767-1040.
So who is eligible to use the Marne Tax Center?
All soldiers and service members are eligible to use the Marne Tax Center, as well as their family members and retirees.
Why should I use them?
Well, taxes change every year, and we have well-trained, certified individuals that will prepare your taxes for you. They can prepare both state and federal taxes, and it's cost-free.
Awesome. You can save a lot of money on your tax money.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And when does the tax center open?
The tax center opens on January 29th. We will be open from 8:45 to 4 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And on Thursdays, we'll open from 11 to 4 p.m.
Great. And what should I bring if I have to go?
Everyone needs to bring with them their military ID card and their Social Security card. Also, you want to bring any financial documents that you might need, such as your W-2. If you have any questions, you can check out the Marne Client Services Facebook page or call either the Fort Stewart or the Hunter Army Airfield Tax Center.
Thank you, Captain, for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Soldiers of 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, marched in the annual Liberty County Martin Luther King Day Parade in Hinesville to celebrate the life and works of the civil rights leader.
To find out what's happening across Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield, we turn to the Frontline newspaper.
Let's check in with Managing Editor Elvia Kelly for this week's news.
Hello, I'm Elvia Kelly, and I'll be giving you the latest details from the Frontline. For the January 22nd edition, check out the front page story, where 2nd Brigade is bidding farewell as they made history once again by meeting Nation's call one last time, casing their colors and making official the Spartan Brigade's inactivation. One family experienced a very unique birth experience while on their way to Wynn Army Community Hospital to welcome their daughter into the world. And last but not least, check out our Sports and Recreation page, where Newman Fitness Center manager Devin Bradley trains hard to reach her competitive goal in an effort to bring home the Eastern Shore Bodybuilding Competition trophy. Colonel Scott Jackson, 2nd Brigade commander, gave a heartfelt speech after the colors were cased. While the world has lost the Spartan Brigade, all is not lost as the 4th Infantry Brigade combat team is slated to reflag as 2nd this summer. While on their way to Fort Stewart's Wynn Army Community Hospital to give birth to their daughter, the Tippett family didn't quite make it to the building. Baby Ivy Faith was born literally right outside the main entrance door of the hospital, and the rest is history. Newman Fitness Center manager Devin J. Bradley is eating 6 to 7 carefully planned meals a day and spending 10 to 11 hours per week in weight training and cardio workouts to achieve a goal. What's the goal, you may ask? Bring home the first place trophy in the figure category of the Eastern Shore Bodybuilding Competition in Atlanta during May, or the top trophy in the Southern Isles competition in Savannah during June, or both. Check it out in this week's Frontline. Join us on the Marne Report to catch the most current news and events found in the Frontline across Fort Stewart, Hunter Army Airfield, and online at our Frontline website at stewartfrontline.com.
Coming up, take your fitness regimen to boot camp.
One of the most recognizable agencies in our Army is the Army Community Service. The Army Community Service is a social service organization designed to enrich the lives of our soldiers, their families, and our civilians. For nearly 50 years, the Army Community Service has helped soldiers be better parents, manage their money, help family members find employment. I'm Bill Lukens. I'm your ACS Director, and I have the honor to be a former dog-faced soldier. In fact, most of your ACS staff are former dog-faced soldiers. Our team demonstrates excellence every day, and we continue to improve the many ways we help soldiers and families.
ACS offers a multitude of services that can enhance your life. Statistically, only 1 out of 4 soldiers, Spouses, leaders, know the full range of services ACS offers. Come discover ACS.
Our team at Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield have created some great ways to provide a myriad of services. We, Army Community Service, are 100% committed to making families ready and resilient.
We help people with pretty much anything causing stress: marriage, money, moving, parenting, even spouse's career search. Remember this, we are happiest when we're able to be of help to you. So come discover ACS.
Pay a visit to ACS and discover what our financial counselors and Army Emergency Relief officers can do for you.
Come to ACS and discover how the exceptional Family Member Program staff can assist you with your family member with special needs.
Deploying? Or maybe you've recently returned from a deployment. Whether it's your first or your 7th, come discover ACS.
Come to ACS and discover resiliency training. Learn how to bounce back.
If you didn't know, you need to know. The place of discovery is in Army Community Service.
ACS is also located at Hunter Army Airfield, and we provide the same services as Fort Stewart. So come, discover ACS, Building 1286.
Soldiers, spouses, and children are what's important to us at the Family Advocacy Program. Come discover parenting skills, communication skills, and positive ways to handle stress and anger. You are our priority.
ACS는 여러분과 함께합니다. 궁금하신 점 있으시면 언제든지 방문해 주십시오.
Ven, descubre ACS. Estamos aquí para ayudarte. Entdecken Sie ACS. Wir haben etwas für jedermann.
Come discover what ACS can do for you. We are here to enrich your lives.
Hey, what's that pin you're wearing?
Oh, this? I wear it to remember my dad. He was in the Army.
I wear this pin for my husband, who was killed in action.
My son served his country proudly. Not a day goes by that I don't think about him.
She was my wife and best friend.
Remember, respect, and honor our fallen military heroes and the sacrifice and strength of surviving families who wear the Gold Star pins.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do us. What's wrong with you? It's not anymore.
You are dealing with pain, anger, a heaviness. It feels like there is no way out. It seems like you are in this by yourself, battling alone. But you are part of one Army family, shoulder to shoulder with a community there to get you through these hard times. There is no shame, no guilt in seeking out help. So if you are struggling, feeling depressed, or even having thoughts of suicide, it is time to talk to someone. Your Army family is committed to finding you the strength and hope you need to rebound from adversity. Because, above all else, our most essential resource is you.
Welcome back. In this week's Task Force Fitness, Johnson Fitness Center is offering a boot camp fitness class every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Classes consist of weight training, kickboxing, ab stretch, walking and running, and functional fitness. Each class is $3. For more information, call 912-435-9306.
That's all for this week's Marne Report.
You can watch the Marne Report in the morning at 5, 5:30, and 8 and 8:30, noon, and in the evening at 5 and 5:30, 9 and 11. Or as always, check us out on the web at stewart.army.mil and on Vimeo at vimeo.com/3AD and on our YouTube channel. Have a great week. Rock of the Marne.